So let's talk about each of the grading categories in more detail. So we'll start with whatever is first, class participation and syllabus. Your class participation is going to be determined by your overall participation, question asked, and non-graded group discussions. So let's see how you can actually do that. So we'll start with overall participation. Even though this is an online course, I expect you to be engaged in this course. If you have any questions about lecture materials, please let me know. If you want to know more about some concept, please let me know. You can ask me or you can ask your peers at the online discussion. So let's see how you can do that. This link is going to take us to the D2L webpage, to the graded discussion. So if you don't know how to get that, all you have to do is go to the learnuco.edu, log in with your UCO email address and your password, and then click on the Introduction to Economics course. Then you can go to Content, where all the content for this course is built, and in the Discussions module, you will find two non-graded and 5 graded discussions. So these first 2 discussions are not going to be graded by me, but the more you participate in those discussions, the higher your participation grade is going to be. So the first discussion is for you to communicate with your peers. You can ask any questions related to the course content, to maybe some assignments that you have, or anything that you want to find out from your peers. I will not monitor this first questions and answers discussion. But so if you have any questions that requires immediate answer from me, please make sure to send me an email if you need the answer right away. Otherwise, use this discussion to see maybe you forgot when the homework was due, or maybe you needed some help with the quiz, or maybe you were not sure which week we are on and you need help with that. The second non-graded discussion post is called Tell Me More. This is a discussion for you when you want to find out more about some content that we covered during the course. Due to the time constraints, we cannot really cover every single concept to the full detail, and sometimes we'll briefly talk about something but not really discuss it in a great detail. So if you have more questions about something, please feel free to ask me questions at this discussion forum. I will monitor it on a regular basis, but you also encouraged to monitor it, and maybe if you have an answer to your peers' questions, use it and answer it, and you are going to once again earn credit for the participation part of this class. You can also get the participation credit through regular communication with me. Sometimes I set the course and I think it's going to work great, but sometimes some links become broken and I may not know about that. So anytime you see there might be something wrong with your D2L page, just let me know. If I don't know about problems, I don't know I won't be able to solve it. But if you let me know that there's a problem, you are pretty much taking care of 2 things. A, you earn yourself participation credit. B, you actually helping yourself and the rest of the class not to solve that problem. Okay, so try to be as active as possible in this course. Pretty much by the end of the semester, I'm going to look at how you communicated with me, whether or not you communicated with your peers through the discussions. Do I know your name? Do I know who you are? And based on that, I'm going to determine the class participation grade. You also have to be aware of all the course policies, and as I said earlier, you are required to read syllabus additionally to this orientation. So by the end of the second week, you'll be required to take a syllabus quiz. Okay, so make sure to read the syllabus very carefully. Have it with you when you take that quiz. This is a graded quiz, and it will be also included in your class participation and the syllabus grade. Next category, quizzes. For each new topic, you're required to read the book. I'll provide you with the reading guide for each book chapter, and I expect you to read the book and fill in the blanks in the reading guide. To ensure that you're doing so, there will be a quiz for each chapter of the book, and that will include 10 questions from your reading guide. If you read the book, you should be able to answer quiz questions without any problems. So these reading guides are really to help you to read the book in a more efficient way, so to say. Okay, you're not required to submit those reading guides through D2L. Those are just to help you to read the book. Okay, you can also use them when you answer quiz questions. It's going to be easier. Instead of searching through the book, you can just quickly glance at your reading guide and find the answer to those quiz questions. There will be a total of 13 quizzes. Lowest score will be dropped and your quiz grade will be calculated as the average of the remaining quizzes. If you miss a quiz for whatever reason, it will automatically be counted as your lowest score quiz. Once again, every quiz is going to be due Monday night at 11 p.m. But do not start working on it on Monday night. You're not going to have time to finish it, and I will not extend the deadline. So make sure you start early so you don't lose the quiz points. There will be no makeup quizzes for any reasons. You're also going to be required to listen to the lectures and take good lecture notes. So for each topic, there's going to be a video lecture that you have to watch and listen to. There's going to be a handout or what I call lecture notes for each lecture that contains some definitions, graphs, and tables. These notes will have a lot of blanks, so when you're listening to the lecture, fill in those blanks with necessary information. Use this template to take notes when listening to the lecture, and then submit them through D2L. Here's a little bit more information about the lecture notes, and then we're going to see the example. So for each chapter, you'll have to submit your notes through D2L. Once again, this is due Monday at 11 p.m. Your notes can be either typed or handwritten. If you choose to handwrite your notes, you will have to scan and then upload them to D2L. You can also take a picture of your notes and upload them to D2L. Or you can type them, save them, and upload to D2L. If you choose to type your notes, you can just save it and upload. Make sure to have all the graphs in your notes so you don't lose points. This is what happens in a lot of classes. This is what I've learned from teaching this class for several semesters now. A lot of times students choose to just type their notes, but then they don't know how to show graphs or movement of graphs in Word, and they leave those blank. That will not score you many points for this grading category. So if you choose to type your notes, make sure that you have everything in your notes, not just the parts that you're capable of typing. Some students, what they do is they will type the notes and then draw the pictures or graphs separately and scan those or take pictures of those separately. You can do whatever the way you feel is best for you, but at the same time, I require for you to have complete lecture notes. So pretty much those lecture notes should be useful when you're studying the material for this class. You cannot submit someone else's notes as your own. I will grade those and I will check whether or not you're working on them by yourself. So that would be considered cheating. So you must take your own notes. You can submit notes after the deadline for a lower grade, so I would rather you to still listen to the lecture if you didn't have time until Monday at 11 p.m. But of course, you will be penalized for the late submission. If you submit them late, please make sure to email me, not your notes, still submit them through D2L, but email me and just notify me that you submitted them late, so I go back and regrade them after the deadline. So an example of these notes, once again, we're going to D2L. Oh, this may not work. If we go to any lecture, so let's start with your introductory lecture. In the Absorb subfolder, you're going to have all those video lectures posted for you. So there's four short parts. Each one of them is probably from 5 to 10 minutes. So each lecture is going to be similar to the regular class time. Some are longer, some are shorter. And here's the folder for your lecture notes. So let's click on those. Okay. So when you click on those, you will see the file attached to the lecture notes. Let's open it. So you already see that there's a lot of information filled in for you. So you don't have to type everything, but you have to write things that are missing from this note. So you will have to type economic studies, how we make decisions in the world of scarcity. And so on and so on. Didn't spell scarcity correctly. And so on and so on and so on. So once again, you have to make sure that you can use these notes when you're studying the content of this course. All right, homework. Be careful about the deadlines. Use your time efficiently and don't leave things to the last minute. All the deadlines are posted on D2L, but once again, Monday 11 p.m. That's when all of your homework assignments are due. Similar to the quizzes, lowest homework score will be dropped. You will have a homework for each chapter in this class, and lowest homework score will be dropped. So please do your homework. It's 15% of your overall grade. It's a major part of the class. From my experience, students who complete homework on the regular basis have better grade in this class. Also, students who are just short a few points to the next best grade, usually missing those points because they missed few homework assignments. It must be your individual work. Copying the answers of another students or from somewhere on internet is definitely cheating. On the other hand, you're encouraged to discuss the course and homework assignments, so please use the appropriate discussion board to ask and answer your peers' questions or ask questions that you have. If you have any questions about what's allowed and what's not, please talk to me. So I'm going to ask you not to say, hey, what is the answer to homework question 5? That's definitely cheating. But you can ask some guiding questions. I do not understand this question. Can somebody explain to me what adverse selection is? And hopefully your peers will be able to help you. If not, you can of course talk to me and get help from me. Online discussions. There will be 5 graded discussions. So additionally to those ungraded discussions, there also will be 5 graded discussions. You're required to participate in each one of them. So your discussion grade is 10% of your overall grade. So each graded discussion is worth 2%. One discussion can make a difference between A and a B, B and a C. So make sure to participate in each one of them. During these discussions, you're expected to post your own comments, read other comments, and make substantive comments on the post of other students. These discussions will take place on D2L. You can either access them through the discussion submodule, or I will post the links during that particular week when the discussion is due. Each discussion will be worth of maximum 10 points. So up to 4 points will be awarded for the quality of your main post. Up to 4 points will be awarded for making at least 2 substantive comments on your classmates' post. And up to 2 points will be awarded for your overall engagement in the discussion. That means that you have to read every post made by your classmates, log into the course on multiple days throughout the week, and post comments on multiple days throughout the week. So once again, if you start participating in the discussion on Monday night, you're committing 2 crimes. First of all, you're not letting your peers to comment on your post, which is not good, which means that you're not going to learn from your colleagues. Second of all, you're losing many points on the engagement in the discussion. So please start working on the discussions early, so you give a chance to your classmates to comment on your post, and that you make sure that you earn all possible points for these discussions. Letter to the editor is an assignment that you can complete anytime during the semester. Of course, a lot of students like to complete it very close to the deadline. The instructions are already posted on D2L, so you can read them carefully. Please read them very carefully. And if you have any questions about this letter, you let me know. So basically, you will have to read an article in a newspaper or maybe some journal or magazine that's related to an economic issue, and send a letter to the editor in which you will show your understanding of that particular economic concept through your letter to the editor. The assignment that's posted already on D2L is going to talk specifically how this letter is going to be graded. But once again, if you have any questions about how to complete it, I will be more than happy to discuss that with you. Your midterm and final exams will be submitted within D2L. Each exam will consist of 10 questions. Those are going to be short answer questions. So even though your homework and quiz assignments are going to be multiple choice, your exams will be short answered questions. You're allowed to use course material when answering the questions. Sometimes I will even instruct you to use internet to answer some questions. But all the answers must be your individual work. If you use internet, do not just copy paste it. Rephrase it and make sure to cite all the sources appropriately. Also, please make sure that the sources of your information are valid. So Wikipedia, not a good source of information. Okay, so some news, I don't know, agency or maybe some newspaper may also not necessarily be a good source of information, especially when you're reading an opinion of a journalist. Okay, so make sure that your answer is based on some data. If you're not sure what's a good source of information and what's not, please talk to me. I will guide you through that as well. Once again, detailed instructions will be attached to the exams. So once we get to those, you will receive more detailed instructions. Some other questions you may have for this course. What if you feel like you've fallen behind? Please talk to me as soon as possible. The sooner you start acting, the better chance you have to complete the class with good grade. If you're trying hard, studying the lectures, doing your homework, completing assignments, you will do great in this class, and I will help you as much as I can. But if you don't want to do work, I will not be able to help you, no matter how hard I try. Few final words. Leave all excuses at home. If you don't understand the assignment, please ask for help. If you didn't study, accept the grade and try to do better next time. I will help you as much as I can. If you refuse to follow my rules, you have to accept the consequences. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to help you grow. I'll do my part and the rest is up to you. Welcome to Introduction of Economics. This is going to be one great semester.